Hey yo, hey yo. So wanted to hop back in and get a little recap and explain where I'm at in the progress that's been made for this deal that's supposed to close in a few days here. So just a recap very quickly. Got the agreement for 58,000 with the gentleman, absentee owner. His daughter lives in the property. He lives about 4 hours north, 4 hour drive north from the property. The daughter lives in the property. Tenant, she's the tenant with her 15-year-old son. They fell into hardships and were unable to continue paying down the mortgage. So his house had slipped into foreclosure. So we're going ahead and helping him out by giving him $10,000 beyond what he owes, which is 48,000. So I offered 58. He's gonna walk with 10. Um, got the buyer on board, got all the agreements, the assignment agreement signed off on, got it over to title. Title's run. The only thing that needs to be paid off, it seems like, is the mortgage. And seller provided all the lender information so that the payoff can be ordered. And that's essentially it. Now the only thing that needs to happen is the tenant needs to get out because the lender won't lend to the buyer. The buyer uses private money, or it may be hard money. I'm not sure, but it's not his personal money. He has a lender, so the lender won't close on it until it's vacant. It's delivered vacant. So the tenant needs to get out, and I've made it very clear to her from the beginning. I gave her a 45-day window. It's just a 45-day close, so it's been under contract for longer than a month. At first I was kind of like, and this is something that I tell myself, I go back and forth on. It's like, man, maybe I should have just been more confident in the numbers that I had and had, really started pushing for her to get out right the day of I got the contract signed. Cause that's when I talked to her for the first time, I think the day of, or maybe the following day. So, she's been in the loop from the beginning. But at first I was kind of like, you can kind of hang tight until my 14-day inspection period tolls because I didn't want for her to pack up her things, do all this research, find a new place to move, and then me not be able to find a buyer. And there was kind of I was skeptical because I've already had 3 deals fall through. So that's what's happened thus far in all my other deals. So I kind of regret doing that. But again, she had 30 days after the inspection period. And I let her know that again. I've been keeping her in the loop every like 5. I've talked with her and her father, the seller, at least once a week. The seller more often. But I'm always kind of telling the seller, which is the father, like, hey, look, the last thing that needs to happen is your daughter needs to get out. And he's like, yeah, I know. So he's letting her have it. I'm letting her have it. I'm probably letting her have it a little bit more professionally. Like, hey, look, this was going on. And he's like, you need to get out. I'm trying to get paid here. And she's always known too, right? Because she stopped making payments. So it's like, okay, yeah, I'm not, if I was her father, he's probably saying, well, I'm not making the payments. And if you're not making the payments, I'm going to get foreclosed on, right? Somebody's going to come take this property. And so that was like revolving around like our first conversation. That's what she was saying was like, I knew it was going to happen. I just didn't know how soon it was going to happen. It's like, all right, well, it's happening. So I actually reached out to her probably about a week, no, like 4 days ago, maybe towards the end of last week. Today's Monday. And I hopped on the phone with her and was like, look, that's the last thing that needs to happen. And we can't, if the closing date comes and passes, not only are we going to have to redraft new agreements, new paperwork, but I'm going to have to revisit the price that I'm able to pay because, the real estate market does not stay the same. And it's already been 45 days. So I'm not even confident that I'd be able to deliver on the price that I've promised your father. And I'm trying to like get into her psyche a little bit and like have her bring up some emotions, but she's just so in her own. I didn't mention it, but she's depressed. She's fallen into a state of depression because she lost her husband early this year or last, but her husband passed away. So she's always kind of mentioning that and crying on the phone. Not to say I'm like cold hearted and I don't care, but there's not much I can do for her. I try my best. I've let her know that I don't want to be the big bad guy that just comes and kicks you out. I want to be, of some assistance. I even connected her with a realtor, but it seems like when I rounded back with a realtor, she just wasn't doing her part, right? That and she doesn't have money. So he like couldn't buy anything, but he was like, so renting looks like the option, but she was stubborn about that apparently, and like didn't want to rent. So probably because she doesn't have money or like cash flow, but she has a job full time. She works the night shift, and that makes it even more difficult for me to communicate with her because I'm having to catch her like at obscure times, either when she's home from work, which is really early in the morning, or when she's awake and getting ready to leave for work, which is kind of too late, later than where I'm on the phone. So I'm always having to like make time to talk with her. But anyways, that's what's going on. And the last thing is the title company needs to schedule a mobile notary to go out to the seller, which again, he's a 4-hour drive north. So the title company was going to organize and facilitate a mobile notary public to go out there to have him sign off on the papers on the day of closing, which is again supposed to be the 19th, which is Thursday. And today's Monday. So the last email that I got from Title, I'm always like kind of going back and forth, and Title's been really short with me. This company, I don't, if you've watched my previous videos on this deal here, I had been communicating with another branch of this title company, and I really liked the people at that office. And then I actually advocated for this title company when I was speaking with my buyer because he wanted to use somebody else. But I was like, you know what? It already says it on the original agreements, just so I don't have to go and get new agreements signed with new title companies listed. We can go to your title company next deal, And I'm serious when I say that. I have another deal that I may bring him, and we can go with his title company. It would have made it much more difficult if he really wanted to go with his title company, and he was like, yeah, that's fine, we can go with yours. And then I went to go submit it in open escrow, only to realize that branch had closed down. So now I'm calling around to that same title company. Luckily, they had different branches, and all I had was the general name, Patriot Title, and I didn't have like the branch or the office location or anything like that. So I was just able to submit it to a different branch of Patriot Title. But these people I've never talked to, and it was like I'm kind of rushing, like, hey, I got a deal here, looking to open escrow, looking to run title, looking to close on this date, and they're just like, oh, what the hell? Who are you? It's one thing to like say that when you bring them a bunch of business, but this is the first time I talked with them, so they're not really as. I understand that they are busy, like every title company is, and I understand that this is common. I've watched plenty of videos about title companies, and I understand that it's kind of my responsibility to stay on top of them. But I'm doing that, but I just don't really appreciate the responsive. Like in the middle of the conversation, it seems like she's always trying to hurry me off the phone, or she's like being really short in my responses or cutting me off. And again, I get it. I understand that you're busy, but like, I don't know, have a little bit of customer service. Like, what am I trying to say? What's the word? Humor me for like 2 minutes while I have you on the phone. I'm not planning on talking to you all day. And quite honestly, the more you cut me off and the more you talk, the longer the conversation is going to go, because you're not answering the question that I have and I still haven't asked. So I won't be going back to this title company. And again, I understand I'm probably naive for like speaking about it the way that I am, but I've also, again, talked with other escrow officers at other title companies. We did our fair share of calling around title companies before we landed at this title company. So I know, I understand that they're busy, but you got to have some type of customer service aspect to your business. This alone will prevent me from doing business with them moving forward. So that's that. But anyways, I don't want to even put that out into the universe. I'm feeling really good about this. But Christy, the daughter, I texted her late last night thinking that she was still awake, or had just woken up at least, and she didn't text me back. I just said, hey, Christy, just wanted to check in and see that you're still on track to be moved out by Wednesday. How are things going? No response. So she's probably behind, but I just hate that she, like, I don't know. It's almost like she wants to get kicked out. Like, she's that kind of person, Like, I hate to say that. I hate to cast judgment, but oh, and I didn't even mention. So yeah, when I spoke with her last week, I had offered her $500. I said she has a plan to move into a motel while a trailer at her buddy's trailer park is being repaired. It's going to take about a month for the trailer to be repaired and ready to be moved into. So in the interim, her and her son are going to move it to a motel and stay at the motel for like probably a month. And I said, yeah, I'm more than willing to cover your living expenses up to $500. That'll probably cover about 2 weeks in the motel and probably a month of storage. Um, and she was like, "Oh my gosh, thank you so much, so grateful." And then now she's blown me off, and it's like even the $500 isn't enough for her to light a fire under her butt. So, anyways, I'm gonna start right now. I've talked already like crazy. I'm gonna call my title company, and I just want to get a few things figured out. One, I want to figure out if they have in fact scheduled that mobile notary for the seller. I want to kind of clarify the last email that was sent to me. I'm always kind of figuring like finalizing my emails or signing off on my emails. Like, okay, please let me. I said, please let me know if there's anything else that you need from me, the seller, or the end buyer before closing. And she said, for now, we are just waiting on the lender with no context. So I'm gonna ask, like, are you just waiting on the lender to simply fund the deal? Is that what you're saying, or is there something else that he's needing to do? Because if so, that's another thing. The title company just really. I played telephone this whole time. I was facilitating everything. The title company, I don't think has ever reached out to the seller. They talk to the buyer and the lender, but I'm always having to communicate with the seller and like, yeah, fill these forms out and submit them, fax them into this fax number. It's like, I want them to be doing that. I just want to pass them the deal and for them to be communicating with everybody. And I want me to be focused on the tenant and moving her out and not having to like, coordinate with the buyer. Like even the buyer is like, hey, are we still good? Like what's going on? You know, and again, I'm following up with them. I'm letting him know like, yeah, the 19th, but there needs to be somebody else who's coming from like a more professional third party stance, which is the title company, that I would really appreciate if they kind of reached out and did their part. Anyways, gonna call them right now, see if I can get a couple things answered, make sure we're still on board for Thursday the 19th. And I'm also going to kind of fill them in on what's going on with the tenant just in case they were unaware, because I've never told them.
Hey, Scott, it's Rebecca. How can I help you?
Hey, Rebecca, this is Derek. How's it going?
Fine. How's it good, Derek? How about you?
I'm doing well. Just following up on the file over on Burke Road.
On Burke Road?
Yeah, 710 Burke.
710 Burke?
Yeah.
Okay, and how can I help you with that?
Yeah, I just wanted to, the last we kind of left off, I know you were talking about scheduling a mobile notary for the seller, and I just wanted to see if, one, that had been done. And I was also looking for clarification on an email that I got from Lily. She was saying just the last thing, the last thing she said, we're just waiting on the lender. And I just wanted to clarify if you were just waiting on the lender to simply fund the deal, or if there was something else that you needed.
Yes, right now Lily and Patricia are at lunch, so can I get a phone number and I could call you back?
Sure.
To let you know what.
Sure. Let me know when you're ready.
Okay, give me 1 second. 710 Burke.
Sorry, I forgot that I had muted it because I was giving her my phone number, but she said they were out to lunch, but I heard them in the background. And I also know that there's only 3 of them in the office. So she said that both of them were out to lunch, but that's all good. It's also 2:30 out there, maybe late lunch. She didn't want to scramble because she had no idea what was going on in the file. She didn't want to she didn't want to come across like she didn't know, although she made it quite apparent that she didn't know. She's also not handling the day to day. She's not in the weeds with every file. She's more so overseeing the other two women in the office. So I get that she's not in the mix with this one, but it's all good. She said she took my number down. She took down my questions, whether or not there was a mobile notary scheduled and whether or not they needed anything from the lender other than to just fund the deal. She's going to get those questions answered, and either her or another woman in the office are going to give me a call back sometime today, hopefully sometime today. But I didn't go to the point of explaining the tenant situation because, again, one, this woman is not in the weeds of this deal. She's more of a supervisory position in the office. And two, she was like, she would have had to take all these notes just to pass it along to the person. And it's like not really something that really matters to them. I think they should know because there's a possibility that it would fall through on this day of closing for this reason. But it's hard for me to tell them anything else because, again, the tenant is confirming with me. She said when I talked to her last, even before this last message that she didn't respond to, the text message that I sent her on Wednesday was, "Hey, Christy, it was a pleasure speaking with you yesterday. I hope that you're feeling a little bit better," because she was saying that she was sick and kind of using that as an excuse. So just to reiterate our conversation yesterday, if you're able to be moved out by the 18th, early morning of the 19th, I'm willing to help you out with living expenses up to $500. If you can do that for me, I'm more than happy to do that for you. And she said, "Okay, got it." So the way I interpret that is confirmation. Okay, got it. I'll be out by the 18th, early morning of the 19th. So it's kind of like I'm in a weird position. I want to let the title company know. It's like, hey, just so you know, like I have kind of like a odd feeling about the tenant and about her ability to move out on time. And I know that the lender is probably not, they made it clear that they don't want to close on the property until the tenant is out. Per the tenant, in a conversation that I've had with her directly just a couple days ago, she had confirmed that she plans to be out by the 18th, early morning of the 19th at the latest. I said if she has like a few things just to pick up, a few boxes to move early morning of the 19th, that's fine. But at the latest, early morning of the 19th. So I just want to kind of be speaking to title company. I just want to kind of put that on your radar. That's the only thing that I'm a bit hesitant about, a bit skeptical about. And it's not that she's telling me that, hey, I'm not going to be out by that day. It's just kind of a feeling I have. In fact, it's the opposite. She has confirmed that she's going to be out by then. But I just kind of want to let you know that that is the only thing that's left pending here, right? Because the lender doesn't want to close until she's out. So I'll have a better understanding of that, moving forward. Right now, I'm actually going to give the seller a call just to see if, every time I talk with him, it's almost like he has a little bit of insight as well. Because he speaks with his daughter. He's been kind of speaking with her more often than before the deal, clearly because, he wants to get paid. So I'm going to give him a call, see if he's kind of picked her brain a little bit. I'm going to ask him if they've reached out to schedule a mobile notary and let him know that, yeah, we're good to go. Going to schedule that mobile notary and then trying to make sure that he's free on that Thursday, the 19th. And I want to see if he's talked to his daughter at all and if she has any, if she's reiterated her plans or what. So I'm going to give him a call right now. His name's James. Nice guy.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system. James Robertson is not available.
What a guy.
At the tone, please record your message. When you've finished recording, you may hang up or press 1 for more options. To leave a callback number, press 5.
Hey, James, how's it going? This is Derek. Just rounding back, wanted to reconnect with you regarding the property over on Burke Road. Um, oh, I think you may be calling me right now, so I'm gonna go ahead and hang this up and pick that call up. Sorry about that. Hey, James. No,
Didn't get to it,
no,
Tony.
no problem. Sorry, I probably left you a half voicemail, so you can just disregard that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just wanted to round back with you. Kind of reconvene. One, I wanted to see if anybody had reached out to you yet to schedule that mobile notary to come out.
Well, I took a nap and I just woke up.
Oh, okay.
I've got two missed calls, but I haven't answered them because I was coming out of the restroom.
Gotcha.
Just didn't get to phone time.
Yeah. No worries, no worries. I just wanted to see. I had just spoken with somebody over at Patriot Title as well. She wasn't able to confirm whether or not her team member had scheduled that. So I just wanted to reach out to you and maybe get a different perspective. But if not, it may be one of those calls like you're talking about. But she's gonna give me a call back from the title company, and it sounds like if they haven't already reached out, they'll be reaching out sometime today. So just a heads up.
Okay.
And
Alrighty.
and I just wanted to confirm as well. So they plan on the 19th, Thursday. Does that still work for you?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's what my daughter. She's scrambling to get things done, but that's her.
Yeah. That's kind of the last thing I was going to ask, to see if you had talked with her. The last I talked with her was probably 4 or 5 days ago. Mid last week. And I don't know if I let you know. I know I'd let you know. I had an idea of doing this, but when I spoke with her, I let her know that I would take care of some of her expenses. For the motel and possibly the storage unit as well. And she seemed like she was on board. I let her know if she was able to get out on time, that I'd be able to do that for her. But I just wanted to round back with you, see if you had talked with her since, because I reached out to her yesterday but didn't get any response. So I'm just a bit concerned.
Well, now she's been sick for the last week.
Yeah.
She has allergies, and I understand from the news that African dust blew into Houston,
Right.
and she doesn't do well with that.
Right.
African dust. And her boss at work made her go be tested for COVID just to make sure.
Yeah.
And she tested negative. So
Oh.
she does not have COVID.
That's good.
So that's good.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, she was mentioning that too. When I spoke with her, she was mentioning that, and she said she had taken a few days off work, and she had a few days off work moving forward, and she sounded sick too. I'll tell you that on the phone. So I understand that. Yeah.
But as far as I know, she has what she calls her crew.
Gotcha.
Some young fellers she works with. They're going to help her move the furniture and stuff. She's going to get a U-Haul truck and move her stuff into the storage there on Red Bluff. So,
okay, cool. I mean, yeah, that's what I was under the impression of as well.
Okay, well, that was 2 days ago. So,
Oh, okay, perfect.
She hasn't called back, so
okay.
In my family, no news is good news.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's I didn't know what to think, and I didn't want to jump to any conclusions or anything like that. So I was kind of under the impression what you're saying, no news was good news. Maybe I caught her at a time where she's packing her stuff up, or I don't know. So I just wanted to round back, make sure that everything was still good to go. You said you talked to her 2 days ago, so that was after I last spoke with her. So sounds good to me. Like I said, somebody will probably, if it wasn't that number already, somebody will probably be reaching out to you today to schedule a time, probably like midday or early afternoon on Thursday. I'll let you guys coordinate the person that's reaching out.
Okay.
But just yeah, I just wanted to give you a heads up on that.
What is Thursday?
Thursday is the 19th.
Okay. All right. I've got 2 doctor's appointments. I've got one the 17th,
Okay.
which is tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
and then I go to another doctor on the 18th. So
Oh, geez.
the 19th sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
should be home unless something else pops up.
Yeah. And yeah, okay, that's perfect. And like I said, I'd rather you kind of coordinate with the person that's going to reach out, just so that it gets communicated directly, just in case I don't want to mess up the dates or anything like that when I go to tell them.
Okay. Well, my wife and I, we had a late night at the movies. We were watching TV and we were eating popcorn.
Oh, very
Had
cool.
a couple of chili hot dogs and movie things.
Yeah.
And I looked at the clock and it was almost 3 o'clock when we went to bed last night.
Jeez.
So I get up about 5:30, make a fast trip to the restroom, and went across the street, visited with my neighbor, and come back, and it was about 10:30, and then I went outside and fiddled around a little while.
Sounds like
And I come in and told my wife, good night.
Yeah, exactly. I was getting ready to say, it sounds like you could use a nap.
Yep. So I just woke up.
Yeah, I hear you. If I were you, I'd probably get a few more hours in. 3 o'clock's much past my best bedtime.
Yeah, well, we had fun last night. We were pretending we were youngsters.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. Yeah, very cool.
So anyway, I'll when we hang up, I've got 2 voicemails. I'll listen to them and then go from there.
All right, perfect. Like I said, I had left you a voicemail, so one of those is me there, and you can just disregard that because you called me right back. So, all right, I appreciate it. Get some rest, huh?
Yeah, I'm probably up until about midnight.
Jeez, turn in earlier tonight. Get a good night's sleep.
Yeah, you betcha.
All right, I'll talk to you soon.
Okay. All right, Mr. Dirk. Appreciate the call, and we'll talk with you later.
All right, absolutely. Have a good one.
Okay, you too.
Bye now.
Be safe out there.
Will do.
Bye-bye.
Great guy, man. Wow, I couldn't ask for anybody better for my first deal. What a guy, honestly. I just wish his daughter had a little bit more initiative and a more positive outlook on life. But anyways, I didn't want it. So it sounded like, if you heard that, I talked with her on Tuesday afternoon. I texted her Wednesday morning to confirm, hey, just to reiterate what we talked about, I would give you $500 if you're out by this date. Wednesday morning, she confirmed. He said he talked with her 2 days ago, which would have been Saturday. And it sounds like that would have been 3 days after I last spoke with her. And it sounds like the plan had honestly even developed even more by the time she talked to him. When I talked to her, she didn't mention a U-Haul. She's always kind of mentioned the fact that she has these people at work that are willing to help her out. But now it sounds like she knows the storage unit on what street. He mentioned the street the storage unit is going to be on. When I talked to her, she said she was looking into these specific motels that she was supposed to give me the information on that she hasn't yet. Hopefully she's feeling better. I mean, I wish I could give her a little bit of leniency because she's feeling ill, but again, she's had 45 days, 30 days if I negate the fact that I told her to kind of hold off until my inspection period was done. So 30 days since then. I imagine also that the title company called the seller right away, right after I called the title company, which is funny as all hell. And I think pretty typical based off of what I've gathered of title companies, which is why you have to stay on top of them. Like, hey, has this been done? Like, oh, let me double check. Click, call them real quick. Hey, just hey, like wanted to schedule the mobile notary. It came up on my agenda. Like, no, Derek called your ass. But that's funny. And again, that I would bet all the marbles that that's what happened because again, I heard the other woman in the background. She made a lie, kind of a little white lie that I used to do this stuff in my old job too. But it's one thing for them to be out of the office and for me to hear them in the background. She was like, "Oh, they're at lunch. Let me get back to you on that," which buys her an hour of time to do everything that I'm asking about. Um, and it sounded like again she reached out right away to the seller. Sounds cool because he's gonna reach back out. Um, but yeah, it's pretty much it. I would call the tenant right now, but she's probably sleeping. Um, she wakes up probably in a few hours from now. Again, she works graveyard. Uh, I wanted to kind of let her. The seller also said, in my family, no news is good news. Um, I hear him, but in this line of work, I would really appreciate some news. I don't want to be left in the dark about it. But again, it sounds like she has a plan. I just wish that she would text me back at least. Um, that seems to be kind of how we court. I mean, we do both, but she definitely texts. It's not like her phone doesn't get texts. And again, I had texted her. I'm trying to like justify it for her. I had texted her last. I texted her last night at 7 p.m. her time. And for all I know, she could be working, and that's right around the time where she starts working. So she may be like, and I do this too, where it's something that I feel like it's not extremely urgent. I'll read it and just kind of put it in my pocket, like, oh, I'll get to that later. So that's what I'm hoping is that was the case. And then she worked her full shift, came home, passed out, and is still sleeping. So until she like wakes up, like, showers up, gets ready for the day, is able to like go back through her text and text me again and respond. So I want to give her at least a day, especially because she may even talk with her father sometime today as well. Now that I kind of got in his ear about it, and that it's all becoming real for him, especially after the mobile notary is scheduled for him. I'm hoping that it becomes very real. It's like, okay, now all that really needs to happen is for you to get out of the property so I can get paid. Yeah, so that's that. That's pretty much it. I don't know. I'm kind of just spitballing here now. I don't really have anything else to talk about, but I wish the mobile notary was already scheduled. That's something again that I'm going to talk about with the title company when they do contact me. When they call me back, I want to fill them in on the tenant situation again, not because I think or want to like jump to the conclusion that it's not going to happen or she's not going to move out on time, but I do at least want to let them know that it's a possibility and like kind of a feeling that I have. What do you think? Should I tell them or not? I feel like by telling them, it kind of puts it out there that into the universe and I'm attracting that negative energy, right? Because the last thing that I heard, especially from her and her father, I'm not even going to mention it. I'm not going to mention it. If I don't hear from the tenant anytime today, I'm going to reach back out tomorrow, which will be like the day before she said that she would be moved out. So I hope that she's at least started. That's what I hope is that she's like doing something. I just don't want her to like come down to the last day and be like, all right, I got to move all this shit. Like I got my crew coming out, the U-Hauls rented. Like now I got to do all this. And then for her to feel like, I don't even want to do this. I don't even want to handle this. But she wants that money. She's going to handle it. Appreciate everybody that tuned in, stuck around, listened to me talk some shit. No real progress made on that one, but sounds like I kicked the title company in the butt a little bit so that they can start doing their job. Gonna get some answers from them in terms of what they're waiting on from the lender other than the money. And Yeah, figure out this tenant situation. Appreciate everybody. If you like it, the content that is, like it, comment. If you're experienced, or if you feel like you have insight on the situation, please do make recommendations, suggestions. I'm open. I'm learning. I'm an open book. I'm by no means a pro. I'm just tracking my progress as I go. So I really don't want this to be like I know what I'm doing, do it like me. I really want it to be like, watch me try to fail forward. I'm going to try to do everything, and you're going to witness me failing a lot. And, I wish that I would have even started doing this way back when, before I had 3 deals fall through. So you can really grasp where I'm at in the journey. Again, this is, I just got another contract locked up on Friday. So that was my 5th agreement that I've gotten, yet I've still closed 0 deals. This will be my first deal closed if everything pans out in a few days from now. And then I have a 30-day close on that other agreement, that I'll make maybe a separate playlist to track the I don't know, like I don't want to continue making new playlists like second deal, third deal, fourth deal, because I feel like that's tapping into my psyche and kind of coming from like a scarcity mindset where there's a finite amount of deals that I can do. So maybe the next playlist that I make is like just deal flow, constant deal flow, where I can hop in and just kind of like shoot the shit like I'm doing right now about the current deals that I have, because I want to update you on that last one that I just got under contract. I don't want it to just be like an acquisitions channel where you watch me lock up these deals. I really want to track the journey, the process from getting I kind of coined the hashtag from cold call to close. So all the way from that initial phone call, all the way to getting the agreement signed, to hosting cash buyer showings, to assigning the agreement to a cash buyer, talking numbers, talking title, talking tenant situations, so that and tracking again while it's in title, any title issues that pop up, closing issues, anything like that. I want to be able to really capture all that. I really want to capture and showcase all that. I feel like that's unique and different, whereas other channels are, watch me cold call, watch me lock up this deal, watch me call this hot lead, boom, I locked up the deal. But you don't really see too much of, the whole process. So again, appreciate you. Anybody that tapped in, I'm going to be going live here in a little bit again to maybe finish some more cold calling up, maybe some lead follow up. But yeah, appreciate you. Until the next one. Peace.